You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
Okay, let's take a comfortable seat, and that's anything for you today. I'm actually sitting, as I said, in a semi-hero position, so kneeling with the feet behind me and sitting nice and tall and upright and not feeling too rigid, not feeling too restricted in your body. Allow the shoulder blades to relax and be heavy down the back. Feel that space between the ears and the shoulders. And you can take a mudra if you like. If you like to take a Jan mudra, thumb and index finger, and just the other three fingers are nicely outstretched. Let the elbows relax and let the wrists and the palms down onto the knees. Maybe closing the eyes, taking a soft gaze, or just looking down. Taking a few deep inhales and exhales through the nostrils just to settle yourself this morning. Whatever has happened in the last few hours since awakening, to bring you to your mat. Mornings are a wonderful time for meditation, to become centered, preparing yourself mentally for your day, finding focus to what your day may bring. And as you sit here and you steady your breath into a comfortable rhythm, breathing in and out of equal length, allow the mind to be calm, be still. Allow the body to release any tightness and tension and gripping. And just observe, take note of how you feel. Trying to make something work that isn't designed to work gives us a sense of false control. We can't make people and situations bend to our will as much as we want something to work. Sometimes things just need to fall away. And knowing when to let go and when to hang on is a great lesson in itself. If you are met with resistance, it's time to change your approach or move on. And through the struggle, a new sense of ease and comfort will emerge. And just bearing those words in mind towards our practice today for some of the postures and the asana that may come up for you throughout the sequence, throughout the practice. Maybe they're your least or your favorite postures. Facing fears, facing challenges, facing discomfort, but certainly not pain. Knowing when to let go and knowing when to hang on. Drawing an intention for practice for yourself today, Maybe an I am statement. I am committed. I am strong. I am dedicated. I face my fears. And taking a deeper breath in, breathing in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth, sigh it out. Next breath in, lift the arms up above the head. Give the body a big stretch all the way from the hips. Reach the fingers up above you. Stretch the sides of your body. Notice if the shoulders have crept up towards the ears, and then drop the shoulders away so that you lengthen the neck. Still reaching the fingers up high. And then dropping the left arm down to the side, just reaching over. Maybe changing the gaze. We're just warming up so you can look nice and gently underneath that elbow. And notice the stretch down the side body, and then bring yourself back into center and then drop over to the other side. So there's a lot of side body work today. Opening up the rib cage, the waist into the hips and the side of the legs. And then gently bring yourself center. Drop the chin towards the chest and take a gentle forward fold. Dropping the crown of the head towards the heels. Relax the spine. Breathe through the back body. Feel the navel start to connect to the lower back and the spine as you pull the navel back, and then roll up through the spine. Hands go back behind you, fingertips face forward. Draw the elbows in towards one another as you open the chest towards the sky. Gaze can always look forward or look above. And then bring yourself back into center. Take the legs wide into wide-legged forward bend. Repeating, breathing in, arms raise. Exhale, over to the side. Try to anchor yourself through both sit bones. Maybe taking that gaze underneath the elbow. Breathing in, reaching long through the side body, dropping to the other side. Breathing into center, and then again, crown of the head faces down towards the mat as you start to fold. Hands might come out in front of you, drawing the navel back towards the spine, grounding through both sit bones, and try not to allow the feet to roll inwards. Try to keep that nice openness through the inner thighs, through the outer hip. Letting the head be heavy. And then start to roll up through the spine. Fingertips come back behind you. Draw the elbows in and lift the chest once more. Gentle back extension and lift here. Lift out of the lower back. And then bring yourself center. And this time lift the knees and bring the feet together in front of you. Same thing, repeating, inhale and dropping the arm over. So really ground through this right leg. Try not to lift up to get that deeper stretch through the side body. Keep lifting up through that left side as you reach the fingers, changing the gaze if you wish. Bring yourself center and then dropping over to the other side. So noticing all of these kind of side bodies and folds and back extensions, how they vary through each of the leg positions. And bring yourself center, dropping chin towards the chest, rolling down. Take a forward fold over the legs. Draw the navel back towards the spine. Exhale, let the head, the shoulders be heavy. Rolling up through the spine, fingertips come back behind you. Again here, want to draw the elbows in towards the body, tuck them in, and then press the chest open to the sky. Lift out of the lower back here. And then gently bring yourself center. If you have a block handy, you can grab that, or you can just hold the knees in place, placing the block between the knees. Feet are facing forward. Gentle teepee twist here. So hand comes onto the outside of your knee, lifting up, and gentle twist behind you. The benefit of the block holds the knees in place, because what tends to happen is we over twist and one knee will shoot itself forward. So holding the block in the inner thighs there helps with that teepee twist control. Bring yourself center, take it to the other side. Hand comes back behind you, only gentle warm-up movements. And then bring yourself center, release the block, swing the legs around behind you, and then take a tabletop here. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Just sway the hips from side to side, gentle rocking motion. You can start to introduce the head and the neck as you look back. So hips go one way, head goes the other. Bringing yourself center for cat and cow. Inhale for cow, exhale for cat. Press the tops of the feet into the mat, pressing away through the palms. And last time, come neutral, reaching up the left arm up towards the sky, threading that arm through and under, reaching the fingertips away, and your right arm can remain on the palm here, or you can reach it forward, or you might wish to take a bind here, so that right arm comes back towards the left hip. Nice deep exhale, keep the hips lifted high, pressing into the tops of the feet, reaching those left fingers away, palm face up. And slowly bring the right arm back to press you up, back up to tabletop. And the right arm reaches up and away, opening through the right side of your body and then threading through and under. Again, taking the option of the hand either on the palm, reaching forward, or taking that bind around to the right hip. Bring the hand back, press into the palm, bring yourself back up into tabletop, and then bring the toes together. Maybe the knees come together for your child's pose, or you can take wide and reach the hands to the outer sides of your mat, and then release the hips back for child's pose, and then press down into the palms. Head might come to the mat or to a block. Nice deep exhale as you breathe through the back body, trying to release everything to the earth. Letting the belly relax on the thighs or between the thighs, depending on if you've taken that child's pose with the knees together or apart. Let's bring the hands back into the center, bring the knees together. This is our twisted child's pose. So we're going to walk the hands over to the left side of our mat, give the belly a little bit of lift, and then reach the fingertips away and draw the chest down towards the thighs. Head might come to the mat or to a block, but keep drawing back through the right hip here. So the right hip starts drawing itself down towards that right heel. Feel that side body stretch, right side, all the way from little fingernail right down to the hip. Walk the fingertips back, take them over to the right. Again, give yourself the lift, get the belly free of the thigh. You may have the smallest belly in the world, but it still needs to be lifted up and away from the thigh so that you can give yourself space. Deep inhales and exhales through the side body, opening the rib cage, opening the waist, opening the hip. And then bringing yourself back into center. And then just bringing yourself back up into tabletop, right foot steps forward. And then you actually turn onto the side of your mat. So you're going to kickstand that back toe and come into a kneeling position here. So whether this is comfortable for you here or with the knee, pad out the knee if you're on a hard surface. Toes comfortable for you either to the side or facing forward. Arms raised and take a side stretch here into gate pose, reaching the fingertips away. Again, you can turn and look underneath that arm, reaching those fingers downwards towards the ankle. And then reaching the hand away this time, coming to a block or to the mat, and then start to lift the opposite arm up, and this is where you might need that little kickstand of the foot, and lifting up that leg, pressing the sole of the foot away, toes are facing forward. If you wish to check your balance here and add some challenge, look up to the top hand. Lift the leg a little higher. The outer thigh is probably screaming at you a little, and release. And then bring yourself back to change sides. Inhale, arms up and over to gate. Reaching fingertips away, down towards the ankle. So you've got this nice side body stretch all the way from the outer thigh, outer knee, armpit, changing the gaze if you wish to. Then releasing the hand down to the opposite side. Fingertips come down onto a block or to the mat. And then as the arm raises, you can lift that foot. Again, your positioning here, either kickstanding with those back toes, so press into the toe beds, lifting up, lift the leg a little higher, toes face forward, press through the soles of the feet. Give yourself some challenge to look up to that top hand. And nice and slowly release the leg. Turn back to the front of your mat, tabletop, tucking the toes, bent legged downward dog, chest back to the thighs, and start pedaling out. So nice deep exhale. Nice deep inhale. When you're ready, release both heels together, lifting up through the sit bones, broadening across the shoulders as you spread the fingers wide. And just notice if you're caving into the shoulder blades or you're broadening across the shoulders. Head is relaxed, ears come between the biceps, crown of the head reaching down towards the mat. Steady and slow breathing. And looking forward, walking the feet towards the hands at the front of your mat. Take the feet nice and wide here, preparing for Malasana. So dropping the hips between the heels. You can always lift the heels, or the heels might come down to the mat. Give yourself a little wiggle room through the hips to draw the hands in towards the chest, lengthening the spine away, and start to engage Mula Bandha here, drawing up through the pelvic floor. Find the steady breath and then engage Uddiyana Bandha, the abdominal lock, so drawing in and upwards towards the navel. And little crow prep. Do not have to go into crow. Hands come down. We find the position that we are comfortable in. Toes might come back together. Reposition as you need. And body weight tips forward. Keep the feet down onto the mat. And lift the sit bones high. Draw the Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha in. Find the breath, Ujjayi. So the knees are just resting on the elbows. You're lifting up the sit bones. Toes are still down on the floor. Nice and slowly. Release. Turn the heels out, hip width apart. Exhale. Bend the knees, drop the belly, drop the chest, release down, fall, forward fold, swaying from side to side. Take hold of the elbows if you wish to here. And then bring the hands down, either onto the shins, the thighs, or the hips as you start to bring yourself up to standing. Coming to stand at the front of your mat, finding a Tadasana. And as we just ground ourselves through the soles of the feet, drawing up through the thighs, energy through the center, our Manipura chakra. We're going to need a little bit of that today. And also side body energized. So inhaling the arms up towards the sky, come into Vira Mudra, palms come together, interlace the fingers and release the index finger pointing up, crescent over to the right side of you. So nice side stretch here, over to the right. Bring yourself back into center and then over to the left. Release the hands and sweep the hands by the hips. Come into chair pose. Reach the fingers away, reach the sit bones back. Draw the navel back towards the belly and make sure that you're not anterior or posterior and tilting the pelvis. Nice long spine, tailbone reaches back. Hands into the heart. Take a twisted prayer here. Left elbow to right knee. Draw the palms in towards the chest. Take a check of the knees. Are they in line? Just as we did in that teepee twist. Feel grounded through the feet and lift up through that top right shoulder. Nice and slowly release the hands. Exhale as you fold and lift the sit bones. Inhale, half lift. Lengthen the spine away. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees slightly. Pop the left foot behind the right. Feel grounded through both feet and then start to walk the hands over to the right side of your mat. Again, belly lifts, spine lengthens, just as you did in those twisted child's poses. Exhale, fold over right thigh. Crown of head reaches down towards that top right corner of your mat. Nice and slowly bring yourself back into center. We're going to step the left leg back behind you, taking a nice low lunge here, dropping the knee, dropping to the top of the foot, reaching the arms up, and exhale as you sink the hips forward towards the front heel. Open up through the chest, the shoulders. Maybe the gaze goes towards the sky. You can always look forward. This time, hands come together, interlace the fingers, crescent side bend over to the right. So stretching through the left side of the body. Takes a bit of balance. Bring yourself center. Exhale over to the left. Bring yourself center. Hands come down into the heart. Twisted prayer lunge here. So left elbow to right knee. And then draw the hands in towards the chest. Maybe the gaze goes back towards that right elbow, right shoulder. If you wish to here, you can challenge yourself, tucking that back toe, lifting the knee away, high lunge. Nice and slowly, release the left hand down on the inside of that right foot. Right hand comes to the sacrum. Take a deeper twist here. And maybe that right hand releases up towards the sky. Nice and slowly, release the hand, turn towards the front of your mat, hands come down, step it back, downward facing dog. Nice deep exhale as you get there. Find a connecting vinyasa of your choice, either knees down, ground position cobra, or your chaturanga up dog. Back into your downward facing dog, lifting up the right leg up and back behind you. Three-legged dog, bring it through to meet the hands and turn into warrior two. Windmill the hands open. Nice deep exhale as you settle into warrior two. Relax the shoulders away, looking along middle finger. Take a note of where the feet are. Bending into that front knee, sending that knee over the middle, tracking over the middle toe, but not going too far over the ankle. From here, reverse warrior, hand might come to the front thigh for a bind, and then reaching back behind you, bending a little deeper into the front knee, dropping the hips a little further towards the mat. This time, side angle pose. So we rotate through the body and come over to the elbow. Reaching that top hand up to the sky or along the body. And then bringing yourself back up into warrior two. Interlace the fingers behind you, humble warrior. Press the knuckles down, open through the chest and folding forward. Maybe the hands stay at the base of the back, or you can lift them up and over. That right shoulder might come to the right knee. And nice and slowly release. And turn towards the front foot, releasing the back toes. Connecting vinyasa again. Exhale, back to your down dog. You can always come into your child's pose at that point. Exhale, back to down dog. Right leg steps forward. And left leg steps forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms raise you up. And exhale, down by the side of the body. Ooh, if I can remember that on the left, I'll be amazed. Inhale, arms raise. Crescent side bend over. So interlacing the fingers and Vira Mudra, reaching over to the left. Bring yourself center, reaching those fingertips over to the right, pushing the hip out to the left. Bring yourself center, sweep the hands by the side of the body as you press into chair. Preparing for the twist, drawing the elbows in towards the body, pressing the palms together at the chest, bending a little deeper. Take a look at those knees. Has the right knee brought itself forward? Keep the hips nice and level. And then nice and slowly bring yourself center. Exhale, release the body to the fold. Lift the sit bones into half lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold and bend the knees. Step the right foot this time behind the left. Ground through the feet. Walk the fingers to the left side. Lengthen, space. Exhale, fold over left thigh. Bring yourself center, step back, right foot this time. Take a low lunge or a high lunge, always an option. Release to the top of the feet and inhale, the arms come up. Sinking the hips further, exhale. Hands come together, Vira Mudra, crescent over to the left. Bring yourself center, excuse me. Over to the right. Bring yourself center. Hands reach down to the palms and to the chest. I'm going to need to take a drink. So lifting up into your high twisted lunge. Nice and slowly. Hand comes down on the inside of the foot. Left hand comes to the sacrum. Open up a little deeper into the side body. Reaching the hand up towards the sky. And then bring yourself center. Hands come down to the mat. Take that left leg back. Downward facing dog on your breath out. Find a connecting vinyasa of your choice. Back to down dog. Left leg lifts this time. And sweep it through. Warrior two. I'm going to turn side so that I can still face you. Settle into the posture. Take note of obviously how the body is. Are you dropping the pelvis back behind you, dropping the belly forward? Really drop the hips down between the feet. Reverse warrior here, so hand might come to the bind, reaching the arm up and above, bending a little deeper into that front knee as you sink forward. And then side angle pose, bring the hand over. Feel strong in that underside of your body here. You could always take that elbow off and you are not going to move. Bring yourself back through warrior two. Nice deep exhale. Humble warrior this side. So changing the grip of your hands. Maybe a different finger goes on top. Press the knuckles down as you open the chest and the shoulder to the sky. And then start to fold. Lead from the chest. That left shoulder comes in line with the left knee. Maybe the arms stay at the spine or they lift up and over. Nice deep exhale. And then press yourself back and bring yourself back into warrior two. Nice deep exhale there. Release the hands over. And step it back, downward facing dog. You can choose a connecting vinyasa or you can take a moment in child's pose. And then looking forward. Left leg steps between the hands. Long lunge here. Right leg steps between the hands. Exhale, full fold. Press into the feet, engage core to lift the arms out to the side. Bring yourself up to standing and exhale. Hands come down by the side of your body. Good work. How's you starting to feel a little bit more mobile? Good work. Okay, standing at the top of our mat, let's come into some balances. So you might need your block. So first balance is our tree pose. So really grounding through both feet first of all. We're going to drop into the left foot and then draw up through the left thigh here. Open the hip out to the side. Place the foot at the ankle and just notice that hip mobility here. Just give the foot a little wiggle in and out. So from the side, what we don't want to happen is this, so that we're overcompensating. Want to be nice and tall through that tree pose. So from the hands to the hips, they might come to, the foot might come to the calf, or you might use the hand to bring the foot up towards the thigh. And then you can place the hands at the heart center. So here we want to be pressing the foot against the thigh and the thigh against the foot, feeling nice and long through the spine. Shoulders are nicely relaxed. Draw the lower rib cage in. Try not to flare the ribs. And we've got that drishti, that focus straight ahead of us. Whoops. Move the arms out to the side and then above you, and you can always keep the shoulders shoulder width apart, reaching the hands above you, or you might come into that Vira Mudra, which is interlacing the fingers and releasing the index finger, pressing the heels of the palms together. So those fingers reach up and you are grounding and rooting through that supporting leg. Now when the arms raise above the head, you might have flared the ribs, so take note, draw the navel in towards the spine. Nice and slowly, release the hands, release the foot, and let's come to the opposite side. So again, opening up the hip, just giving it a little wiggle, drawing the knee in, drawing the hip out. And just notice in your own hip rotation here, you know, you might only have that hip rotation for yourself. And again, it's always knowing where the resistance points are. And then lifting up that leg, either to the calf, never pressing against the knee. You're going to be pressing against the knee joint here. So bringing the foot to the thigh, if you wish. And the thigh presses against the sole of the foot presses against the thigh. Find the hands to the heart. Keep opening through that left side, hip, leg. Grounded through the right leg. Release the arms, coming into Vira Mudra above the head. Notice if the shoulders lift. Lengthen the spine. Unflare the ribs. Draw the navel in. Find that steadiness in the posture. This is going to prepare us for our next balance. Nice and slowly release the hands, release the foot, come all the way back down. Take a moment, anytime that we come out of a balance, take a moment just to process. So both feet firmly planted on the mat. Find steady breaths. Let's come into our second balance. Half moon pose, so opening out into warrior two, right leg in front. So having that block handy in front of you and just looking down at the block, that's where the hands are going to go. So front foot definitely faces forward and we've got that opening through the hip of the back leg. So reaching up and then find that balance here first. Open up through the side body. Hand can come to the sacrum or to the hip. And as the fingertips come down and you start to pendulum the body, the leg might raise. And just as we did when we were doing that kneeling half moon, flex into the ankle, press the sole of the foot away and the toes are facing forward. Then roll the hip, roll the side body, roll the rib cage, roll the shoulder, then release the arm, and then you can change the gaze. So maybe looking forward, always a challenge, and looking up towards that top hand, even more of a challenge. And the leg doesn't have to be too high. It's more about opening up through the side body. Test your balance in that underneath block. Maybe releasing just a finger or two. Amazing. And then when we want to come out of the posture, if we haven't fallen out of it already and gone back in to try again, we bend into the front knee. Whoops. Bend into the front knee. Nice and slowly lower the foot back into warrior two. And then straighten up through that front leg. Let's come into triangle pose. So again, check your feet here. Make sure that the feet are in a nice position. We're going to turn the back heel out. Toes kind of facing 45 degrees, turn the hips to the side, reach up with the arms, push the hip out, side body stretch. As you come over that leg, really reach long, and then hand comes down either to the thigh, the calf, or the ankle, but we're not holding on to the ankle here. We're supporting ourselves through the side body. Roll the rib cage open. Roll the hip open. And from here, look down towards the front foot, and then that top arm reaches forward. So palm faces down and you're reaching that top arm forward. From here, hands come down to the mat and you turn onto the back toe. So you open up the heel. Nice, deep, long stretch here. So long spine, lift the belly up, just as you did in those child's poses and those twisted folds. And then hands might come to blocks or mat and then fold over that front leg, pressing back through that left heel. Nice and slowly bend through the front knee. Try not to release it too quickly. Turn towards the side of your mat. Turn the toes inwards and prepare for your wide-legged forward fold. So spine is long here. Fingertips either to blocks or to the mat. So what we want to be in this position here is a nice flat spine. And again, that block, if the fingers do not meet, we want to lift the belly up. Try not to drop the belly and arch through the spine. Lift the belly, crown of the head reaches away. From here, widen the stance if you need to. Turn those heels out, toes in, and then exhale. Start to lengthen from the hips. Maybe the hands come down and take the fold. Reach the hands back behind you, so fingertips stretch away. And you're kind of pulling yourself deeper into that fold. Bend the knees if you need. And then nice and slowly bring the hands back into the center. Left hand stays in the center of your mat. Right hand comes to the sacrum. Give the sacrum a little press and then open up through the side body. So with that hand on the sacrum, it keeps the stability of the pelvis and not dropping into the left hip as you start to open into the twist. So maybe that top arm releases, palm faces forward. So you're just twisting through the torso, not the pelvis. And then release the right hand down. Left hand comes to sacrum. Provide the stability. Lift the belly up. Turn the shoulders, turn the chest. Keep the pelvis stable. Maybe release that top arm. If the shoulder allows. Palm faces forward, same way you are looking. Bring the hand back, exhale, fold once more. And this time we're going into side squats, so Skandasana. So we lift the hands to the hips, engage, bring yourself up, turn the heels inwards and bend into goddess. Nice, stay and breathe, bend a little deeper, drop the hips, send the knees out. Nice, good. Breathe from here. Hands come to the hips and you might turn one foot as you widen into Skandasana. So that knee tracks the middle toe. You can always lift that heel. You can stay here. This might be a side squat, or you can come down a little deeper. If you wish to, those toes in that lengthened leg can start to lift. Good. Bend and drop a little deeper, long spine, and nice and gently press yourself over through goddess. You might come up a bit to go over and then drop over to the other side, maybe lifting those toes. This is more of a surfer style Skandasana here. I went surfing yesterday. Went to Saltburn. And then bring yourself back, bring the toes in and press up into goddess. Press through the feet and turn it to the other side, warrior two. Take the block away to the other side if you need to. So from warrior two, we come into the balance, half moon pose. So dropping the hand down to the mat, find the stability through that supporting left leg. Right arm might come to the hip, right leg lifts, turn the toes forwards, pressing through the sole of the foot and then lifting the arm. Change the gaze if you wish, looking forward or up towards the top hand. You can always hold on to something. You can always hold on to a chair or a wall. Check that balance of your underneath hand. Maybe you can let a few fingers go. Nice, steady. And with control, really with control, bend through the front knee and drop that foot back behind you. Straighten through the front leg. Check the foot position, preparing for Trikonasana, reaching long. And nice deep exhale, folding over. Checking that top hand. Opening through rib cage, side body. That underneath hand is not holding you up onto the shin. It's reaching down. And then gaze goes to the front foot. We turn the arm forward, palm comes down, stretching over, and then hands come down, turning onto the toes of your back foot. Give yourself that lift, open the chest, open the spine, exhale, fold over that left leg and start to release that right heel back behind you. So this is a long lunge pyramid as it would be. So ordinarily in a pyramid position we would have that back foot grounded. And then gently bend through the front left knee. Turn towards the side of your mat once more. Toes turn in, heels turn out. And then this time, spine is long, hands come back behind you, interlace the fingers, open the chest, and exhale as you fold forward. Maybe those arms come over the top of your head. few breaths, nice and slowly. Bring the arms back, release the hands to the mat, and then press yourself up and turn the foot and step to the front of your mat. Find a Tadasana moment. After all those deep stretches, long balances. Inhale, arms raise. Exhale, swan dive. Chest leads, hips are above the ankles. Release the body into the fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, hands come down by the side of your little toes, and you can step back right, step back left, find a high plank. Coming into side plank here, take your option of side plank, either staying on the palm or dropping the knees, coming into any of those variations, either a forearm plank. So that front foot can come into the front of your mat if you need to find that lifting up the hip away from the mat. This is my nemesis pose as well. So many options for side plank. And if you wish to test yourself here, you can always lift that foot away. Maybe it comes into tree. Bring yourself back into center plank. Take it straight to the other side. Always find your option of side plank. Forearms on the palm, one leg in front. Bring yourself back into plank. Lower the knees. Take a connecting vinyasa. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, roll it back to child's pose. Nice deep exhale. Take a few moments breath after those side planks, really needing your strength, your stamina. And let's bring ourselves up into tabletop, tucking the toes. We're going to walk the feet forward and come back up into that crow pose. Again, always options of keeping the knees on the elbows or tucking the knees in towards the armpits, lifting the sit bones, and maybe this time lifting one toe off at a time. We don't have to go into the full pose if we do not need to. Crown of the head reaches away towards the mat. Lift pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Ujjayi breath. Good. And then release the feet. Take the knees down to the mat. Find a place for hero. So whether that be a bolster or a block comes underneath the sit bones. And just take a moment to sit tall in that first stage of hero. As you sit tall, take a few breaths coming out of that crow prep or crow posture. The heart rate increases. It's much a posture that really works through the Uddiyana and the Manipura and the Svadhisthana chakras. And then coming into whatever hero you wish. So maybe moving the block or the bolster, dropping the sit bones between the heels, widening out those calves, knees press forward here, thighs are nice and parallel, hands might come back behind you. You may come back onto the elbows. And it's wherever you need to be, again, finding that point of resistance that won't let you go any further, and finding acceptance there. Slowing and steadying breaths as we start to slow down our practice now. Taking time to come out of the posture as you went in, bringing yourself back up onto the elbows, onto the hands, and back into kneeling. And if the knees are giving you some jip today, always release out of kneeling if you need, sitting nice and tall. Camel pose coming up. So lifting up to a high kneel, you can always widen the knees to hip width. Hands come to the base of the spine. Either of the fingertips press in towards the sit bones, or you can turn the fingertips up and the wrists press in. Lift up from the lower back as you open through the chest, pushing hips forward. Maybe the fingertips come down to blocks or to heels, and you can come into your full camel or your camel. Ustrasana. Hi, Inti. Hi. Coming to do yoga. And coming out of camel and relaxing down and just releasing the legs out in front of you. And then inhaling, arms raise, exhaling, take a full forward fold for 10 long, deep breaths. Letting the body weight release to the legs, letting the head be heavy. And from here, roll up through the spine, sitting nice and tall. Bring the feet together, hands come out in front of you. And then nice and slowly drop the pelvis underneath you. Draw the belly back towards the spine. So you're going to roll down super, super slow. Belly still draws back. We want the lower back to come down first, then the middle back. Keep the control. Keep the breath. And then the shoulder blades come down, arms reach back behind you, interlace the fingers, press the toes away and press the palms away. Big stretch. And And then release the hands and draw the knees in towards you. Roll and massage out through the spine. And either coming into snail or plow. And with our plow pose, you can keep the feet nice and wide, or you can keep the knees bent, you can keep the toes together, or with snail, the knees just come to the forehead, supporting the spine. Finding your option of plow pose, releasing the hands to the mat, holding for a few breaths. And slowly, with control, rolling down the spine once more, trying to keep the legs as close to the face and the body as you can. As they come up towards the sky, stay for a moment with the legs up in vertical and then release the arms. Take a dead bug moment. Circle the wrists, circle the ankles one way and the other. Let the spine relax completely underneath you. And then close the eyes and find just some stillness here. Opening the arms to the side of you at shoulder height, palms face up. Bend through the knees, release the feet to the mat and windscreen wiper into your gentle twists. Release the knees one way, bring center, release them to the other. Bring center, release once more. And if you feel that there is something more that you need to do now, after you bring your knees in towards your chest, go ahead, do that, or just make your way into your final relaxation in Shavasana. And just coming down into corpse pose. Feet go long and wide, or you might wish to bend the knees. Arms go out to the side, palms face up here. Notice the difference if the palms are face down, the shoulders turn inwards, so relax the shoulder blades. Take as much space as you have around you, trying not to touch anything other than your mat. And you can choose to close the eyes or taking a soft gaze. And allowing your breath now to really slow down and steady itself. And whatever, came up for you within the practice today, maybe your least and maybe your favorite postures were present. Maybe you had to face some fears. Maybe you had to face some unfamiliarity and feeling uncomfortable. That's what I want to say. And in these final moments that I'll give you some silence to yourself, just take a few moments to process the practice this morning for yourself. Again, take note and observe how your body feels, giving yourself a little body scan all the way from the crown of the head right through the torso, the arms, the hips, the legs, into the feet, relaxing everything as you go. You've completely prepared yourself for your day, mentally, physically, emotionally. And I'll bring you back around in a couple of minutes. And beginning to take a few deeper breaths now, bringing awareness back into your surroundings, being on your mat, feeling the back body, and then bringing some gentle movement into the hands, the feet, the head. Taking all the time you need, never rushing. Either stretching, drawing knees in, whatever feels good. And just rolling over to one side, returning up to a comfortable seat, bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra at heart center. Been there a few times today through practice. Sitting nice and tall, and just notice the sides of your body, notice the sides of your legs. A lot was covered today in the flow and also in the postures that we held. Also remembering the words of the reading at the beginning about knowing when to let go and knowing when to hang on. And whether that's with our yoga postures or anything that's within our own lives, using your own intention to take you through those moments of challenge and unfamiliarity, fear and discomfort. And finding the joy and, those favorite moments. Giving yourself thanks for showing up. Got to show up to get it done, and I thank you all. Namaste.